Okay, welcome to room number 2, Universal Show, Saturday morning. As I said, it's always an element of surprise on a Saturday morning. And we like to get the stars that, are definitely going to kill it in the scene in the future. And we've got one of them right here in the studio this morning, right here at Buzz Radio. Now, this guy's been causing a lot of problems because I've seen the Twitter feed. I've seen what's been going on online. And it's just crazy. Undoubtedly, probably got one of the top 3 grime tunes in the country right now for the clubs that you can actually play in the clubs. I must stress. Must get that in there. Can you introduce yourself this morning on Buzz Radio, please?
Yo, people, my name's Bonkaz. Good morning. You're with Buzz Radio right now.
Ah, man. Nice to have you here, sir. You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. How you doing?
Okay, man. Thanks for coming down, man. Thanks
You're
for coming down. Welcome
Thanks
to the
for
show.
having me.
Yeah. So, it's the first time to the show.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of listeners that might not be familiar with your name.
Yeah.
So we just want to give them a little quick breakdown about your history, how you got into the game. Do you know what I mean? The interest of spitting and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to start off with just like giving us a little insight about your background into the music?
My background into music, I think, I don't know where it started. I just know I've always had an interest in it, man. Like, my sister used to play all sorts of things in the house, you know what I mean? And that kind of gave me like a broader scope as opposed to just listening to one thing. So I've always been like quite eclectic when it comes to music. She used to listen to like Drew Hill in the house some days. Next day she'd be listening to Linkin Park. Next day she'd be listening to Arctic Monkeys. Next day she'd be listening to Jodeci and all of these things. Like even like Eminem and Jay-Z. She used to love Jay-Z when I didn't understand him. I thought like out of all the people she used to play to me, I thought Eminem was the sickest and I thought Jay-Z was the worst because I just couldn't relate to nothing because I was like 10 years old, you know what I mean? Now I obviously understand he's like one of the best rappers ever. But I think that really, like all of that Eminem stuff I used to listen to kind of just made me think, as opposed to like the singing and the R&B stuff, I used to think like, how did these guys actually put these words together? That's what I used to rate. And I think that's what really made me want to get into it. And then there wasn't really like a build-up. I just remember one day I had a lyric, like I had like a 32 bar, and I was spitting it to my friends, and everyone was like, yo, this is mad, this is sick. And it just literally was like, I can't remember how old I was then, but I think the fact that I listened to all of this Eminem stuff, it was like technically one of the most like sickest rappers ever. So I think maybe it was that kind of subconsciously built me up to kind of know how to put words together and stuff, do you know what I mean?
When did you decide to yourself then, right? So because obviously you talk about Eminem like one of your major influences. When did you decide to yourself, do you know what? This is becoming a hobby. This is becoming a major interest for me. Because sometimes you can just like write lyrics, but it's never something that you really want to take further and manifest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When did you decide like, you know what? No, I'm getting used to this. I like this.
It was weird, man. I think it's like back in the day, and like obviously off air we were just talking about how different it was like back in the day when there was no social media and stuff like that. But even like we had our own kind of era of that as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. We had a time like there was like a MSN, which obviously was like everyone sign up with their emails and you got this list of contacts, you know what I mean? Similar to like BlackBerry, but it's just on the computer. So we used to go studio, record a tune. You'll take the MP3 from the studio on your phone or whatever, or in your email, and you'll just log into MSN when you get home and send it to your whole list like a broadcast, you know what I mean? And literally from that broadcast, like, and I used to find it so weird that I could send a broadcast from my house on MSN to like maybe the 100 people that I've got. And within a week, the whole of South London is listening to this tune on their phone. Every school, everyone's in school passing these tunes around, and you got to remember, you got to be like as close as me and you are these times to send it on Bluetooth, you know what I mean? So it's like, it just used to be mad how I go places, and I remember the first time I was in the ends and I was walking through the ends and then someone was like, oh, Bonkaz, and I didn't know them. And that just made me think like, this is a bit mad, you know what I mean? And that wasn't like no fame thing, that was just like, my tunes are circulating in the ends and people are
and
like...
you're getting recognition
Yeah,
for
they know that guy. I went to a party one time, like a Shubs, and I remember I got there and the queue was so mad. And as I got there, everyone's like, oh, they're not letting nobody else in or whatever. I was like, oh, cool. It was just me and my friend Pro. So like we just gone to the front of the queue just to be nosy and just see what's going on anyway, thinking like they're not letting no one else in, so we're just gonna chill for a bit and go home. And like the guy whose party it was, who we've never ever seen in our life, saw us, and his dad and his uncle and all these people was at the door, and he come running to the front, telling his dad and his uncle, yeah, that's Bonkaz and Provider, let them in, Dad, let them in, Dad. And I was thinking, right.
That's bad. That's crazy.
I was probably like 14 these times.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I remember we were so like we tried to play it cool, like
Yeah. I don't know.
sick,
Still.
safe.
Yeah.
We were gassed. Like when we went home that night, we phoned each other like, Rod, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just from making these tunes, and I just thought that was so sick. And it wasn't really like an ego thing. It was just like the fact that you can reach so far by just going and recording a tune. And that kind of took priority over everything else from that point, because nothing else I'd done, I didn't feel like I could reach so many people with just like anything else that I do. So,
well, it's weird, you know, because obviously we were just talking offline about how, like, you know, the social media really helps people today with getting their music out there. Do you find like that's been a major contribution to like, you know, your stuff being circulating all over the country, all over the world?
That's 100%.
Have you got some strange feedback from different countries, different parts of England and the UK and that?
Yeah, like it's weird. Like even just today, it's weird you say that, because like I got like 4 posts today from Lacoste US, Lacoste Turkey, Lacoste Japan, and Lacoste Spain, which I think are like really random countries and
That's
stuff.
nuts.
But I done like a feature with them, and just today, like all these different countries have posted. But without social media, that's not possible.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
crazy.
not possible. Like, so I think social media is like a huge part of what we do nowadays.
And the thing about it, based on that, do you misuse it as an artist, or do you just use it for solely for music? Because you know some people like they go on there just to vent all their personal issues. You know what I mean? Oh, my girl's getting on my nerves. She's an idiot, and then they just, you know what I mean? Or then you have some people like who just don't use it at all, and they just have followers and they just watch what's going on there. How do you use it?
I use it pretty freely, man. I use it pretty freely. Like, I'm also like now anyway. I'm like responsible enough to know that people are watching you, and you can't, you know, that's not the place to go and get mad, or the place to go and like vent certain things. But I use it freely in terms of like the amount of people that I follow. I see artists, like I even have conversations with artists and people that are like, yo, like don't follow too many people and don't someone told me not to interact, because if I interact it makes me seem normal. And if I don't interact, it builds up some sort of aura around me. But that's an aura that I don't want. Like, I don't want to be that guy that doesn't interact. So if, like, one of my fans tweet me, if I see it, I'm going to tweet back.
Yeah, but that's keeping it, like, grounded, though, right?
If they at me and say, yo, follow back, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to follow back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's more like big artists I won't reply to. You know what I mean? So it's like, like my fans, those are my people. Those are the people that are going to help me build what I want to build. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
So you spoke about earlier on, like, you know, the influences from your sister, like listening to some of the music that you grew up with, you know, Linkin Park. So it was quite a broad spectrum of music. With that in mind, what prompted you to get into the drum genre that you got into? Or are you saying to yourself, you want to be solely known as an artist that just makes music?
No, I had a period where I was like, don't label me as anything. But now it's like, my responsibility is to kind of understand what grime is, and understand that that's something that was birthed here in the UK, and also like understand that that can be as big as anything, as long as people don't run away from it. So it doesn't mean that I have to spit at 140 BPM every time, and that I can't sing, and that I can't do something with like a rock guitarist. And you can do whatever you want, but just give it the title of what you want to represent. Do you know what I mean?
So when are you most comfortable? Because you speak about singing as well. I wasn't aware of that. Will that something that you'll go back to, or is it just you want to concentrate solely on rapping?
Now, I've been singing a lot.
Okay.
I get selfish with my bars. Like, I don't. Whereas before I would write a chorus and give it to a singer, and then I rap on the hook. But I want people to know that this is what I think. I wrote that because I think that. It's not like some singer just came and said that on my tune, and I filled in the blank spaces. Like, this is what I think. Do you know what I mean? So my lyrics are really important to me. So that's why I started trying to sing. And like, I've never done any lessons or anything, but I just do it now. Do you know
All
what I
right,
mean?
okay.
But yeah, I just feel like I call it grime, but you could listen to like 2 punk songs from different artists, and if you didn't know anything about the genre, you'll assume they're 2 different genres because they're so different. It's like R&B, like listen to like a Drew Hill tune, and then go and listen to like a new Jeremiah tune, which is more for the clubs.
Yeah.
And then you got a Drew Hill where Cisco's doing a madness, and it's proper just R&B or Joe or even Avant and Latif and them, man. It's different.
No, you're going in now, you know,
Yeah.
because you're going in. Latif,
Yeah,
you know.
come on, man.
Come on in a
Sick.
van.
Yeah.
Come on, now you're going down my lane now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my lane.
But that shows how
the
wide the
depth.
spectrum needs to be.
Yeah,
For a genre to be globally recognized, you need to have an Avant, and then you need to have a Jeremiah, you need to have a Chris Brown, you need to have a Cisco, you need to be able to switch it up.
Well, funny you should say that. Check this out. I've been looking at some of the comments recently online, and some of the critics they're being quite objective. So they would say like, we don't want other counterparts from other parts of the world to get involved with grime genre, right?
Yeah,
because they feel like it will be tampered with.
That's an attitude that's been there for a long time.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Because I mean, surely you want the scene to evolve and the music to evolve, and other people from other parts of the world to get involved. No,
my thing is about confidence in yourself and not trying to take confidence away from others. So you see, when you have something like you have a genre, it's grime, and then say this room is like the grime room. And then some guy comes and knocks the door and he's wearing skinny jeans and he's got like, you know, he doesn't look like a grime guy. And then everyone in here turns around and says, yo, what are you doing in there? Get out. I'm going to be the guy to say, no, come in. Let me hear you. Do you know what I mean? Because he might go and tell all his friends now, yo, I went in the grime room and it was sick. Like, it's so fun over there. Come with me. Yeah. You're just pushing everyone else away because you want to keep it with what you've done, but you ain't taking it where it needs to be. You've built it and took it to certain places, but you now need others to come and take it to different places that you can't reach. So if I make a grime tune and I go like completely left with it, say you got like original grime is in the center, I make a grime tune and I go way over to the left, I add like some rock drums, indie singer and this and that, and I've gone way left with it. Someone else takes it and goes way over to the right, and then you still got the original grime in the center. That means it's now this big, as opposed to just being here in the middle. I don't understand why people want to limit the genre. And I'm just confident enough to be like, there's not one MC or one man out there that can tell me what I do is and what I say it is, because I done it. Yeah. Not everyone's got that confidence, and I'm just trying to kind of let that.
So what about compromising your sound? Because like, you know, there's been a lot of stick lately, like with some of the artists in the grime scene that have kind of like filtered off to other genres, made money from them genres, and maybe like, you know, it hasn't worked out too well, or it has. They might have financially been well off from the other scenes they've jumped to, whether it pop or R&B, and some have actually come back now, wanting to do grime or claim grime. How do you feel about that? Like compromising maybe your sound to go maybe do pop music or dance, EDM, something like that.
I feel like we've got examples to learn from. So you see, if it happens now with people that are coming through today, I look at it and be like, didn't you actually watch what happened before? With me, it's about, like, I could make an indie tune tomorrow. That's not compromising my sound. I grew up listening to that. Yeah. But if it's not real and it's not genuinely you in any way, people can tell. So you can go off and make a pop tune that doesn't actually mean anything and doesn't show who you are, and you're gonna get fans off that, as long as you're doing that. They don't care about who you are. It's just you're making a song that we can dance to. Yeah. So you better be prepared to make people dance for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You have, like me, I'm just trying to show people who I am and inspire people and kind of gather a fan base through that. And like, I might make a song that'll make you dance, might make a song that'll make you cry, but it will be me the whole time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not scared to not be the biggest. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So what's so different about Bonkaz then? What are you bringing to the game? Because I mean, the game's flooded. There's so many MCs out there, so many people doing so many different things.
I'm just bringing myself, and I think if everybody does that, then that's what it needs to be. Like, I'm literally just bringing myself. I can't sit here and list everything that I am and everything that I'm going to be, because life is a journey. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just bringing myself, and I'm just trying to give everyone the confidence to bring themselves.
Okay. Listen, they're saying wrap up time already, you know. I can't believe it, you know. I
No,
haven't even
for real.
started, you know.
I
I
was
even got
enjoying
into
it, man.
there's certain things I wanted to talk about this morning. You know what I mean? We haven't even spoke about where you got the name from. Let's tell us quickly where you got the name from.
That's really quick. It was just
Go
a
on.
nickname that just stuck.
Where did it come from though? What did you do? Who did you
Nah,
trouble?
nothing. I used to be like younger bonkers and
Yeah.
tiny bonkers and that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So as you get older, you don't want to be like younger this and younger that. So
But there was no
but I've
reason.
got a cousin. I've got an older cousin who is actually called Bonkaz as well.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. And you know what? There's a question I wanted to ask you, right? I don't know if you've had this question before. I got to answer it. I got to ask you this morning. Now, with hip hop at the moment in the States,
Yeah.
there's a few rappers. You know they are as well. They dress a bit dodgy.
I knew my instincts
No.
told me you was gonna say that.
You do, you did.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
They dress a bit dodgy,
Yeah.
right? And it's people would look at them and say it's questionable.
Yeah.
Like, what are these guys really about?
Yeah.
How would that work in grime? If somebody was to come out wearing dresses and skirts, how would that work? Like, honestly
is it-
speaking.
Quickly before we get into it, is
Yeah.
it really? I don't know. I'm not saying it's not, but is it really dresses and skirts? Like the thing that Kanye was wearing, was it a kilt or was it a skirt? Was
You
it
see-
actually like a woman's skirt or was it a kilt?
You know, there's a couple guys that are very suspect. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We
definitely.
don't want to get into names and all
Yeah,
that. But
definitely.
it is what it is. We see what's going on.
But,
I just wanted to know how that would work, how that would be like perceived in the grime culture in
Alright,
the
they'll-
UK.
alright, they'll
If like a
definitely-
rapper came out
Yeah,
and
wearing
people was
that.
and then he was
Yeah.
like blatant, but he was a bad spitter still.
Yeah.
But he was wearing dresses. How would he be
Obviously,
received? Do you
that
think?
person will be judged. That person will be eaten alive on social media.
Would he?
Definitely, they
Yeah.
definitely would. I wouldn't play no part in it because, like, I'll be a hypocrite because I'm trying to give people confidence to be themselves. I'm not saying, yo, guys, wear a skirt and wear a dress. I think it's weird that a man wears woman's clothes and vice versa. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me.
Yeah.
But it's not my job to jump down anybody's throat when they're doing something that I don't agree with. People eat pork. I don't eat pork. It's not my
Yeah.
job to run around and be like, why are you eating pork? You're disgusting. I just don't eat it. It's just not what I do. You just got to be yourself and worry about who you are.
Because the reason
you know
why
what
I
mean?
asked it, because you know, like when you go to like the dancehall culture,
Yeah.
many of the artists who are against it and oppose, you know, maybe artists coming out and dressing feminine,
Yeah, yeah.
they would speak out like Bounty Killer, Beanie Man. They would speak for their
Sizzler is
culture.
the- Sizzler
Yeah,
is the
Sizzler.
worst.
Well, he's been doing it a lot
Yeah,
lately.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
speaking out Beanie Man recently. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
know how it would work within the grime culture as well. So
Yeah,
know.
no, it's just, for me, it's just not my job.
yeah,
When you've got a certain platform, you've got a certain level of responsibility, and you can decide what your job is and what your overall goal is. That doesn't come into it. It's not about how people dress. I don't want to make people dress a certain way or not dress a certain way or take confidence away from anyone. That's not my job. You know what I mean?
and you know what? We haven't even spoke about your music this morning. The single. You see how we're
Yeah,
going on. I'll
yeah.
tell you what, we even started. I'll tell you what. It's a wrap up. Do you know what? Listen. Plug your single this morning quickly before we wrap it
man,
up.
We Run the Block, my debut single, out on July the 5th via iTunes. Grab that, but only if you really want it. Sure.
Can you give out your social media to this?
My social media is Bonkaz, Bonkaz on Twitter, official Bonkaz on Instagram, and yeah, Bonkaz on the SoundCloud as well.
We've got to do this morning. You know, your manager
Mm.
is like one of my bridges from day dot.
Swear down.
Like, yeah, one of the richest in the game. Like, he's rich. And this lady, like, his business partner,
Yeah.
I known her for a hot minute as well.
Yeah.
She's like,
Do you know what's mad? I'm happy.
Silently
I'm happy
rich,
you said
like
that,
silently
because
rich.
I'm always getting on to him about him being rich, but he likes
He's
to act like
just playing
he
it cool
ain't.
this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
He's playing it cool. Look, the smile. Don't let Caroline fool you, you know.
You just blew him up though.
No,
you
no,
know?
no. She's minted. Caroline, it's all good. Nice to see you guys this morning. Do you know what I mean? Thanks for coming down to the show.
Yeah, all
It's much a
love, man.
pleasure, man. And introduce your single this morning, please.
Yeah, Bonkaz, We Run the Block, playing now. Boom.